Hello, warriors. Welcome to the U Movement. I am Bee, and it's very windy out here, so I'm going to hope that the camera stays okay and that the wind isn't too noisy, but we're going to go for it because I enjoy shooting these outside and have a little bit of nature in the background. Oh, see there, it's already... It adds to my own head bobbing. Now I'll be bobbing this way and that way. Back in January 1st of this year, I set up a video called The Pledge. If you haven't seen that video, feel free to hop over and find it. I'll actually put the link for it in the description below to help you out. Today is the halfway mark. We've made it halfway, folks. Woohoo! I've been counting down the days and on my calendar to see how far we could get into the relationship with self and the pledge of 365 days to be committed to self. So to start today's episode, I'm going to refresh our memories and remind you of the pledge. I solemnly swear allegiance to myself. For the entirety of this year, I will show up, protect, and love me. I will work diligently to let go of the things that aren't in alignment with my highest and greatest good. I will show myself compassion and forgiveness for my choices, actions, and situations of the past. I will never speak to myself in unkind, judgmental, or negative ways. I will be patient. I will love myself the way I always deserved, but didn't receive. I will love my physical body and treat it like it's the most precious thing I have. I will give it the best foods, movement, and the care that it needs. I will honor each emotion and allow it to flow through me with respect and care, understanding that I am healing with each tear shed. I will face each emotion like a warrior, for that is what I am. I am the hero in my story, and I will save all of my wounded children from the darkness and comfort and reparent myself, thus healing my emotional body. I will fight each fear with ferocity as I step further and further out of my limiting beliefs and reprogram my mental body. I will step into alignment with my soul, in so doing, becoming my authentic self. I will show up in the world in truth, integrity, and boundaries. I will love the fuck out of myself. So that's a good reminder for those of us that jumped on and decided to take the pledge with me. And there were a good few of you out there. And if you're new to my channel and want to hop on and take this pledge, you too can make the pledge to self for a relationship with self for the rest of the year, or start your year now. What I did was I took a photograph of myself so that I could see any changes that I've made that I'm going to look at next year at December 31st and see what changes I can see if in my skin, in my being, in my everything, that's going to give me a little bit of a, yeah, you did it kind of vibe. So in talking about relationship to self, I thought it was useful, and our halfway there mark, I thought it was useful today to come on not only kind of to celebrate how far we've come in the last few months. It's been difficult work, a real commitment to giving my nervous system what it needs and treating my body like a Lamborghini. Somebody once said, you know, you can treat your body like a Lamborghini and give it the best of everything, or treat your body like a rusted out old hatchback. And well, no thanks to that one. I'm going to stick to the Lamborghini. So I've been feeding myself nutritious foods that are going to help support my nervous system, lots of herbs and everything, because that's been my primary focus for my body. My emotions have gone through lots of up and downs as I've been purging and releasing and purifying and clearing and doing all of the shadow work to release attachments in my personal world to codependency, narcissistic people, toxic behaviors, and all of that, as well as my own, controlling types of behaviors has been primary there. I've been doing the work using a lot of affirmations and positive reparenting to reprogram the mind into those, to stop the loops that we get into I can't do it, it's going to a catastrophe, it's not going to work out. Fear has been a very prevalent emotion in my awakening journey, and I know it is for probably a lot of you out there as well. And spiritually, I'm continuing to do all the practices that I recommend, and feel free to check out any of my playlists if you're looking for help on any of those realms. I have a body playlist, I have an emotions playlist, I have a mind playlist, and I believe I have a spiritual playlist. I have lots of playlists. I'm all about the playlists. Helps you navigate through what has in the last 3 years almost now turned into over 370 videos, and isn't that amazing? We are releasing the trauma. We are healing the complex post-traumatic stress disorder. We are behaving in new and exciting ways. And it's exciting because one of the awarenesses that came in, you can't bake a cake using the same ingredients, and then I don't know how to say this. You're not going to get the same cake if you change the ingredients. That's what I'm trying to say. So I used to bake my cake with all kinds of things like alcohol, like tobacco, like pot, like negative thinking, like self-loathing, like inner critic, like negative people with poor boundaries, codependency, sugar, caffeine, pharmaceuticals. That was all the ingredients for the cake that was the old me. And the new me doesn't use any of those ingredients. I now use healthy foods, healthy spiritual practices like grounding, like breath work, like aromatherapy, like acupressure mats, trigger point therapy. So the more we shift the ingredients, the more our life has to shift. We're not going to have the same results. If you change all of everything, you can't possibly show up in the world looking the same, sounding the same, feeling the same. And that is the process of the awakening, is a dissolving of an old identity, which is a difficult process as you go through ego death and things like that. And creating a whole new way of being. It is dying before dying. And so anyone out there that's on the awakening path, that's facing a whole bunch of shifts and changes and recreating self, kudos to you. That is real warrior work. Going into the shadowy places and taking a long, hard look and an audit of yourself so that we can show up differently and attract into our lives different things, new experiences. Funny story, yesterday, which ties into the whole relationship to self. I've been technically single since December of 2021, which is a long time to be on my own, focused. As I said, I never want to ever repeat the same type of karmic relationship ever again. So I've been really focused on healing my life for the last number of years. And yesterday I was out helping a friend out, and somebody started flirting with me, and I was so stunned and dumbfounded in the moment, because it had been a while since I'd had that experience. I was very socially awkward, and it's funny. It gave me pause to think about my old way of being. I used to go to bars and drink and be flirty and be sociable like a million years ago, prior to my marriage. But after I separated from my marriage, I've been focused and living basically a hermit, like for a number of years. So it was a fun experience in the sense that, new things are coming into me, but I don't know what to say or do. I felt like a deer caught in the headlights. They actually had to tell me that they were flirting with me, because I was so dense that I didn't know. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. I'm just gonna go over here. So that just goes to show you that as we change the ingredients that we are making ourselves with, the situations change and we change. And so, it's not something that I'm looking for. I'm still only my halfway mark of relationship with self, but it I guess provides me with a little bit of amusement and something to laugh about. It's always nice to hear that somebody thinks you're beautiful, of course, and a little bit of practice for when I do decide that it's time to start dating. Until then, I'm going to stick with my mission of a relationship with self for multiple reasons. One, when you're escaping from a narcissistic relationship, it is highly, highly advisable by the one and only amazing Dr. Ramani. And if you don't know who Dr. Ramani is, please read her book, It's Not You. Please watch her channel and all her amazing interviews that she's done, as well as her own channel to assist people recovering from narcissistic abuse. She's been an amazing resource for me, with lots of tools and techniques that have been most pressing in my own healing journey. Making your ick list. And your ick list is 100 things that that person did to you that were ick, so that you have available. So anytime you get that craving to get in touch or go back, you're like, no. So that ick list was a huge benefit for me. On top of the ick list, she also recommends not dating for at least a year. Now, I'm well past that, but I'm holding off for until I have, it's like shaking off any of the energies and healing all of the energies that cultivated this to attract these types of situations into my life. And because I was raised by a narcissistic parent, it is my comfort zone to be in the environment of other narcissistic people. So I want to make sure that one, I'm really very attuned and astute at looking for red flags, as well, and keeping my distance. And there have been a couple of instances in my life of having situations and me saying, oh, I see the type of person that you are. Excuse me, as I slowly back away from you as quickly as I possibly can, like that Homer Simpson's back into the bushes. I'm gonna move myself away from this situation very, very quickly. So having a knowledge and an understanding of narcissists in regards to all the ploys and the trickery and the mind games, and being able to name it, I have always found that in my healing journey, having a name for something provides you with the label that says, and that can validate what you're feeling when you have been invalidated your whole life and gaslit. Sometimes you question, well, what is this? Am I experiencing, because there's a lot of confusion. So understand gaslighting. I've done a good few videos on gaslighting. Understand what breadcrumbing is, understanding what love bombing is, understanding seeing the cycles, understanding that there's actual brain damage that goes on in your head when you are involved with a narcissistic person, because that constant pressing of that fight or flight response increases the size of the amygdala inside the brain, and brings about a lot of constant cortisol flowing through the system and the adrenals pumping, so you're in a fight or flight system all the time, which then sets your whole nervous system out of whack, which can then lead to diseases and ill health and confusion and memory loss and brain fog and all the other like stuff from all the continual mindfuckery that's at play. So watching these videos provides you with a huge amount of help on your mission. If you, like me, have had it in your soul's contract to work yourself through the karmic relationship that is the empath narcissist paradigm. And that paradigm, if you identify with the term empath, you probably have had many experiences with narcissists in your life, whether they be romantic partners, family members, bosses, friends. You have had probably a lot of these experiences, especially when there are trauma wound from your childhood, because that is what is familial to you. It feels familial. It feels comfortable. It feels like this is your norm. So until we change the ingredients in us, we are going to potentially create more situations outside of us that have that same vibe. So I'll know a good thing when it feels weird. And that's how it's been I've had new friends come into my life that are the most amazing soul tribe type friendships that I've ever had in my life. And, you know, it felt odd. It felt uncomfortable. It felt different. So understand that when you start to attract new into your life and good into your life, it's not going to feel familiar. It's not going to feel comfortable. It's going to put you at a state of unease as you're establishing new patterns and starting to recognize what green flags feel like and what good things feel like, as opposed to the triggers. You have the glimmers of, is what I call it. It's like moments of like, oh, that feels good, little miracle moments. Yes, we give ourselves the time that we need so that we can alter our cake and then have an end result that's going to look different in our external life, because when we change, life changes. That's a universal law, the law of correspondence. As within, so without. So we change what's within, and we start loving what's within, and we start caring and showing compassion and reparenting and doing the inner child work and going into the muck to unfuck and not get stuck and clear out. Everything else has to change. It can't possibly be the same. You can't alter one thing and then not have the external be altered as well. So there's my catch up for everyone today. Happy halfway mark, and let's continue on giving ourselves all the love, the compassion, the patience that we need on this journey. If you need some help as you are going through these changes and transitions and healings and awakenings and twin flame journeys and all the rest of the heroes paths out there, I am sending you absolutely all my love. If you need some help and you're stuck on any particular something and you want to set up an appointment with me, the way to do that is in the description below. There's lots of information there for you. Feel free to send me off an email. Thank you again for all the likes, the shares, and subscriptions. I'm loving to see the growth of the channel and word get out so that other people can utilize some of these tools and techniques that I have successfully used to completely change and transform my life, and I'm excited to see where the next 6 months brings us and this relationship to self, and learning how to show up in the world in a more healed and happy version. So here's to bringing in energy of happiness and joy, and climbing our way up that emotional ladder all the way to bliss. And so we have to go through all those emotions to get there. So that means facing the fears, crying the tears, feeling the grief, feeling the anger, expressing ourselves in our authenticity, showing ourselves compassion. All of these are, we're climbing the ladder. And with that said, mwah, love you all, and peace out.